So the algorithms have changed and you're stuck at 200 views. Barely able to get anybody to watch your content. Nobody's following you and you just don't know why. A very common theme I see here in my comments down here. But let me ask you this. What if your content is actually the reason and 200 views is all you deserve right now? Yeah, I said it. I've said it before, you just didn't want to listen, but the rules of the game have completely changed over the past few months. And there's a few common fixes you can do right now to go from this to 0, basically to 10,000 followers pretty fast. How do I know this? Well, I took a look at some of your comments and the content you sent me down below in the secret link, there's the link, the secret one. And let me just say, there's some patterns keeping you down, some very common patterns. So let me show you probably the most common issue keeping your reach low. Let's take a look at Jake right here, who sent his account in. And his account is all about craft beer. I just had to open one because of this. And he says, well, actually, let him speak for himself right there, Jake.
Hi Dominic, Crafty Beer Lad Jake here. I think my beer reviews themselves are good. I want to know how to get new people watching those beer reviews and engaging with my content and liking and sharing it. Thanks so much. Cheers.
Right, so to get it down, Jake says his content is pretty much great, but the algorithm is not showing it to new people. And yeah, if we take a look at his profile, there's a lot of learnings everybody can take away from here. Let's actually start with his profile and his profile picture. I always say pretty much the 3 most important things in order to get followers are, first of all, A, appear like you're a professional, actually purposeful creator, somebody who creates with a purpose. B, don't have boring content, obviously. And C, don't mess with the algorithm. Any of the weird stuff that might tell the algorithm, well, this is spammer, I don't want this person. I don't want this creator. And usually when we take a look at profiles here, we go straight into the content. But let's actually take a look at the profile itself, the profile picture, for example. I don't think anybody's ever talked about it like this. But let's say one of his beer reviews, what he says are pretty great, and we're gonna take a look in a second. Let's say one of them is going viral. And let's say a ton of people come over to his profile. Did something go wrong? Did I just report him? Oops. But let's say tons of people come over because of a viral reel. For the algorithm, it really depends what they do at this very moment. Because if the algorithm sees lots of people come over to the profile and then nothing happens and they just leave after a few seconds, it's a very bad indicator for the algorithm. And sometimes it's actually very small details in your profile that can make all of the difference between them, these people actually giving you the benefit of the doubt and going down on you, on your profile, or just leaving right there and they're gone after going down on your profile. Now, if the algorithm sees, well, lots of people coming over, but nobody's actually following you and nobody's actually staying for more than a few seconds, bad, very bad, shadow ban. That's what people would call it, but it's actually an indicator. Did I just block him again? But yeah, bad indicator for the algorithm. Your organic reach will suffer for that. So yeah, taking a look at this, apart from the horrible profile picture, that is actually slightly off center and it triggers me like not a lot of things before. Also in his profile picture, that's the second thing that triggers me even more than that, appears to be his username embedded as a text, and it's almost impossible to read. It's actually, for me, it's not even possible to read. Yeah, seems like my glasses are like this. I can read it. Crafty Beer Lad. There you go. It triggers me again a lot. I really hate it. And some people might not be so vocal about it and they might not even realize it, but their brains will pick up on stuff like this. And then they'll be like, nah, it's not a purposeful content creator, what I always say. Actually, let's go to the drawing board. Let's fix this thing, because I just can't. Okay, so let's pull them in here on Photoshop and this horrible profile picture. I can't. You'll see in a second why this is actually more important than you guys might think. Now, first of all, yeah, it's not in the center. Where is it? I have no idea. Anyway, this down here is just horrible, horrible. We don't need this. The background is a little bit too crazy. It's not easy for the eye. It doesn't look good, even though this looks actually good and actually looks the part. So let me try to fix this really quickly. And we got this. Well, it's not perfect, but it's okay, I would say for now. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna take the AI and let's try to see what it can come up with by trying to, yeah, using this area and just not saying anything. Let's just generate right here. There you go. Perfect as always. But if we actually cycle through, third option actually looks pretty good if you ask me. Okay, so now we need a background, because if you remember, the background before was actually pretty bad. Too much going on, too complicated, and we need something that sets him apart from either the dark mode, which I believe 80% of people have Instagram dark mode. This is the part where color theory comes in handy. But I would just say, let's just try a purple, just for the sake of it. A purple gradient, also always a slight gradient seems to work way better than just a purple. Beautiful, actually looks pretty beautiful already. But let me try it something else, because if you remember, he had the Union Jack dude in the background right there, which might be part of his branding. So let's try it out. And we're gonna say faint Great Britain flag. Wow, even more beautiful. Wow. Now, actually, this looks actually pretty beautiful too, but let's just try, because probably, wow, look at this. It makes it a little faint so people can't recognize it. Whoa, beautiful. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna take all these layers right there and just make them a little bit bigger, because bigger is usually better. Yeah. Actually looks pretty good, if you ask me. And I mean, just take a look at this. This is amazing. Look how awesome it looks. Immediately like somebody legit, if you ask me. Doesn't pop, pops. Awesome. Okay, so we got the profile picture down. By the way, Crafty Beer, Jake, just hit me up. I'll send it to you if you wanna. But there's more to do. If we take a look at this profile right there, especially the bio. He says, craft beer enthusiast, DM to collab. Follow me for my next giveaway, all in caps, and then his email address. Now, why is that pretty bad? Because he has a bunch of trigger words the algorithm just hates in there. For example, follow me for my next giveaway. All in caps. Yeah, this is a very bad thing to put in your bio. Don't do this. Immediately take this out, because Instagram actually explicitly state in their terms of service that, first of all, engagement bait is not allowed. And second of all, they say giveaways in exchange for followers are horrible and they don't want that. So you have that in there, so let's get rid of that. Whenever we think about crafting a bio and creating a bio in order to get people to make people follow you, we need to focus on our audience, right? We need to give them something to stay, to push them just over the edge, some reason to stay there. In my opinion, based on what we see down there, it needs to be something that's connected to Jake's personality. Right? That revolves around him as the creator, not just around the beer. And then we want to evoke some sense of community, right? Because it seems like craft beer people are sort of belong to some sort of society, secret society, if you know what I want to say. And obviously figuring out what that actually is, in your case, crafting a powerful bio would take a week of in-depth research and planning, sometimes even more than that for people who work with me sometimes. By the way, if you want to transform your whole content game, work with me personally and have access to my whole team, my whole resources, multiple live sessions per week to actually get you from wherever you are to wherever you want to be, guiding you step by step through the whole process for your specific situation, either scan this QR code right there, DM me Mentor on Instagram, or somewhere down below, fill out the application and hop on a free call actually with my community manager Florian, who will take a look on how to best start based on your specific situation. Now, like I said, usually it takes way longer than that. Sometimes we spend weeks, first of all, getting to know the audience, which I have no idea about your specific situation. But after a quick 2-minute ChatGPT session, here's what it came up with. It's actually pretty good. It says, for craft beer enthusiasts, so instead of craft beer enthusiast, it now says for craft beer enthusiasts, so focusing on the audience. So it's not, well, look at me, I'm the craft beer enthusiast, look at me. It's actually, wow, we both are enthusiasts. This page is for me, I'm a craft beer enthusiast. Beer globetrotter, don't ask me what that means. Worldwide brews. I guess this heads towards, wow, it's about beers from all around the world. I guess people are interested in that. Then it had something very interesting in there. And obviously I just took some suggestions that evoked some sense of curiosity, even in me, who's not really a beer enthusiast. Weekly beer games turn sips into wins. Immediately curiosity, come on, what's going on there? Immediately it turns on my curiosity, because what is that? I changed that from follow me for my next giveaway, obviously something around giveaway and something about the community. I guess that was his goal behind that. Weekly beer games, right? Also sort of a giveaway, but something that evokes the community. And then, because he mentioned his beer reviews are actually pretty great, and we're gonna take a look at them in a second. Instead of just saying the old boring, well, beer reviews, weekly beer reviews, I put in brew mysteries, unsolved cases and reviews. Don't ask me what that actually means, but sometimes, you know, just allowing your brain to just go a little bit further, you can kind of reverse engineer what kind of content, how to spin those beer reviews in order to make them interesting for somebody who's, for maybe even a broader audience, like me in this case, because I love to see some beer mysteries and get to know how they taste. And just like that, without even taking a look at the content, taking a look at this side by side, a million times better, if you ask me. Now, even I'm intrigued, right? Based on all of these things. It looks professional to me. It looks like something that might have some good content. Now, obviously the important thing from here on is you have to keep up with your strong promise of your profile that you have there. The content needs to be in part with the promise of the profile. And to put it frankly, your beer reviews are not even really beer reviews if you ask me, because we don't hear you talk, right? It's just kind of boring. I'm not even gonna show them here on the full part. It's basically just a sequence of videos right there, even a little bit shaky, and just a little bit text on the site. Well, it's kind of boring. So it also doesn't pass the third test. Is it actually boring or not? Now let's actually spin this in a way to make you the best beer review channel around the world, right? And I hope you actually implement this in a way. Let's say, based on your new bio, let's say you use the brew mysteries, really whatever that means, and somehow wrap it around these beer reviews. Something where people actually hear you talk, something where you actually create content. Because in my opinion, that's not even content anymore, right? That was content 2 years ago, but these times are over. I actually allowed myself to make a quick video in order for you to understand this a little better. Did you actually know that this beer was hated by Henry VIII so much, he banned it from his castle and beheaded the brewer? Yeah, true story. Let's see how it tastes. And sometimes, I'm sure you can't always find weird stories like this, but make them so ridiculous that it's obvious that it's just a fun little gimmick. Now, obviously, this was a picture that I created with AI, with Midjourney, and just allow yourself to play around with the idea of how to make this entertaining, right? For example, blind beer taste reviews. You know, obviously your personality should be in the center of it, right? But you get the idea, you know, something more than just. And just like that, in my opinion, you'll be the #1 beer review channel across all platforms, right? Also make sure to upload to all platforms because it's gonna be awesome. I actually can't wait for you to implement this, really. If you don't do it within a month, I'll do it. But the big learning experience from this whole thing being for everybody here. First of all, don't be afraid to try out new things. Don't just take the safe and boring route. And don't be afraid to put a little bit more effort into your content. And second of all, really important, profile optimization, because it can make or break your whole content strategy, as you can see right there. Just based on the profile, I want to see what the content is. And that's basically what you want to do in any niche. And then obviously the content strategy itself. Fortunately, the days of short form Wild West are gone because they were there until recently. But now you're in the short form Coliseum and you're a gladiator. And gladiators actually know how to keep their audience engaged and create good content. And some people even say these gladiators used secret underground content strategies you've never heard before. Something really actionable, like you can see right there.